The ICC Women's T20 World Cup is up and running, and the action has been breathtaking so far, just like the stunning flora and fauna that this country has to offer. Welcome to Turn It Up Match Day 4 preview, a day, by the way, that is very critical for both South Africa and New Zealand. Joining me today is Ebony Rainford-Brent to talk about these two exciting matches that are coming up. Let's start things off with England and how they've been making a statement so far. I mean, just coming into the World Cup, they had, of course, recorded that 3-0, 2-1 and 5-0 T20 International Series victories against South Africa, India and the West Indies, respectively. And also now, in their opening game against the West Indies, chasing down that 136 total with ease. Surely they're serious contenders for the T20 World Cup.
Yeah, I think they are. Look, they've got a new coach in Jonathan Lewis, and one thing that's been clear, they want to play fearless cricket. We saw the way Sophia Dunkley was going at the ball, young players like Alice Capsey hitting sixes and fours down the ground. They really want to express themselves. And also, look, they have some incredible players like Sophie Ecclestone with the ball who can keep things tight. So what I would say is they're putting their name in the hat. The way they started that game against West Indies, they want to win this tournament for sure.
And in shifting our focus now to Ireland, they become the 10th and final team to take to the field in this ICC T20 World Cup. And the question is around the skipper, Laura Delaney. How is she going to make sure that they're up for the challenge ahead?
Everything's heading in the right direction. Girls are putting in really good performances, and there's a great vibe and energy around the group at the moment. I think we took a lot of confidence from that T20 series win against Pakistan in Pakistan. It was tough conditions. It will be a challenge. We haven't played against England in a few years, so for some of the girls this will actually be their first time ever playing against England. We've done a lot of work on video footage, and now that the games are televised as well, gives us an opportunity to see who's in form and who are the key players that we need to look out for. But now overall we just can't wait to get going.
And speaking of that, Ebony, we also look at this Irish side that has been able to beat the likes of South Africa and Pakistan, serious contenders.
Yeah, really important. I think they're one of the lower ranked teams. They have less resources, but what they've been doing is punching above their weight. So that will give them confidence. They're coming in with series wins against big sides. Like we say, taking on Australia is no mean feat in the warm-ups. So they'll be feeling like, look guys, we know what the plan is. Some of our players now are young, high energy and have played on these world circuits, and also there's players in the squad like Mary Waldron who have been around these sort of tournaments before. So I think they've got a nice mix of youth experience, and they've got some results behind them which gives them that energy going into the England game.
Ebony, we now need to speak of that second match of the day, dubbed the do-or-die encounter between South Africa and New Zealand, especially when you look at the contrasting losses that they suffered coming into this encounter. It is all to play for.
It's all to play for. Let's start with South Africa because it's a home tournament. They need to be getting into that semi-final, so they're going to have to pull it out the bag. And after their first loss against Sri Lanka, which I think is an upset, well done to Sri Lanka. They played well. I think what South Africa are going to have to do is stay calm, because they did 70% of the job, and then they lost 3 wickets in no time, and the whole game and momentum went. So they're going to have to use their experience. They've got captain like Sune Luz, who's been around the game for a long time, needs to keep calm. Players like Chloe Tryon are going to have to come to the fore, and also Marizanne Kapp, who's their leader. So for me, that South Africa must be in the semi-final to keep the energy of this tournament. And from a New Zealand perspective, they're going to be hurting to be bowled out for 76 against Australia, who they've played so many times. Let's be honest, it's pretty rough going. I think that's going to hurt them, and so they're going to have to dig deep. So both teams are going to have to battle. They're going to have to be mentally strong, and they're two high quality sides, so I think we're going to see a really good encounter.
I wonder if it will be a tough ask, especially for New Zealand, when you think about the fact that they haven't been able to make the semi-finals in quite recent events.
Yeah, look, I think New Zealand are one of those teams that have maybe punched under their weight for a long time. They have got to semi-finals and finals, and they just never have quite got over that line. And so to start the tournament poorly, they've got a lot of work to do, and they're going to have to convince themselves mentally we can get there. So I think that they're going to have to deal some serious work. Players like Sophie Devine and Susie Bates, who've been to a number of these tournaments, are going to have to turn around to the side and say, guys, we've got to do this. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I think all the fans are going to be going, right, what is good? How is this tournament going to shape up? It's going to be a crucial match.
Thank you so much, Ebony, for your insights. Turn it up with the T20 World Cup app. Download it now for the latest in terms of live scores, action, and more. And don't forget to check out the VR Shot Tracker. Until next time, goodbye.